Muito boa tarde, pessoal. Estamos ao vivo novamente no horário de Brasília, 12h20. Vamos acompanhar agora a segunda parte, então, da missão da Progress 84. Agora, então, com a chegada da cápsula, então, de carga da nave Soyuz na Estação Espacial Internacional. Vamos acompanhar, então, toda a parte de aproximação e acoplagem, então, da cápsula da Soyuz na Estação Espacial Internacional. Vamos lá. Lembrando então que a Sociais então, teve o lançamento com sucesso no horário de Brasília às 9h56 da manhã. O dock, né, a acoplagem está prevista para acontecer dentro de 1 hora. 1h20 da tarde, no horário de Brasília.
from the Progress 84 external engineering camera on the uncrewed cargo ship that launched from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan.
Estamos aí então ao vivo, direto então da nave Soyuz da Progress 84, né? Visão então da Soyuz. Estamos então com imagens ao vivo da Progress. Indo em direção então a bordo da Estação Espacial Internacional. Lembrando que nós vamos então, a acoplagem está prevista para acontecer a 1h20 da tarde.
As we rejoin our coverage for rendezvous and docking, the Progress is around 8 kilometers away from the International Space Station. From the time from launch a couple of hours or so ago, the Toru, or telerobotically operated backup rendezvous system on both the Progress and the receiving side in the Zvezda service module of the International Space Station, those systems were checked out, along with the Core's automated rendezvous system on the Progress vehicle, and everything is in good shape. All of the rendezvous maneuvers to this point to raise the altitude of the Progress to match that of the International Space Station, as well as to fine-tune its path toward the outpost. All of those burns have gone off by the book with no issues reported by the Russian flight control team at the Russian Mission Control Center in Korolyov. The journey of the ISS Progress 84 cargo ship began at 7:56 and 7 seconds a.m. Central Time. This is a replay of the engine start. The engines came up to full throttle.
Lembrando então que o seu lançamento aconteceu agora há pouco, né, na parte da manhã, às 9h56 da manhã no horário de Brasília, na base de Baikonur, no Cazaquistão.
At an altitude of about 260 statute miles. The Soyuz 2.1A booster arced out to the northeast on its trajectory to match that of the International Space Station in an orbit inclined 51.6 degrees to either side of the equator. The journey was flawless. All of engine parameters and all of the vehicle structure parameters were by the book for the 8 minutes and 45 seconds until the Soyuz third stage shut down and the Progress separated from the third stage, deploying its solar arrays and its navigational antennas to begin the short 3-hour-plus journey to the International Space Station. Now live, you're looking at a view from cameras on the International Space Station as it and the Progress are traveling about 260 miles over the southern portion of South America, about to begin a southwest to northeasterly track, again in an orbit inclined 51.6 degrees to either side of the equator. Again, this is the view from the external engineering camera on the Progress. The values that you see in the lower left-hand corner, the top value shows 7.5 kilometers. That's the distance between Progress and the station. And
estamos aí com distância de 7 quilômetros da Estação Espacial Internacional, como vocês podem ver aí abaixo, né?
At the time of docking, which is scheduled for about 11:20 a.m. Central Time, 12:20 p.m. Eastern Time, the Progress.
Lembrando então que a acoplagem então está prevista para acontecer às 1h20 da tarde no horário de Brasília.
Parameters at the time of docking itself. And in the middle of the crosshairs, a good view from the Progress camera of the International Space Station.
Então lembrando que aquele pezinho ali embaixo que mostra ali a distância, né? A distância horizontal com a distância, a relação à Estação Espacial Internacional, tá? Estamos então a 7.000 quilômetros.
This Progress once again is going to be conducting a fly around of the station and then a short period of station keeping as it has its forward docking probe aligned perfectly with the Poisk module on the space-facing side of the Russian segment of the station. That will ensure Russian flight controllers that the start of final approach will guide the vehicle in for its docking to Poisk. The relative motion of the two vehicles against one another at the time of contact and capture will dampen out after a few minutes. Then the docking probe will initiate a retraction to bring the two docking surfaces into flush against one another for the initiation of the closing of the hooks that will form a hard mate for the progress to the Poisk module. Once leak checks are conducted over the course of the next hour and a half or so by Russian cosmonauts Sergei Prokopyev, who's the Expedition 69 commander, and Dmitry Petelin, once those leak checks are conducted, then the hatch both on the station side and on the progress side will be open, and the crew will begin to unload some of the more time
E essa então é a
critical
tripulação que está lá oficialmente, né, na Estação Espacial Internacional, mas lembrando, ainda que temos ainda presente na Estação Espacial por 8 dias, né, a tripulação da Axioma 2, né, que vai ficar lá por 8 dias, né, a bordo da estação. Então, lembrando que a bordo da cápsula Soyuz de carga, né, que está sendo enviada agora para a estação, né, temos aí quase 3.000 quilos de carga, incluindo comida, água, roupas, parte então de coisa de experimentos e outros itens.
Signal 8.9. Velocity copy.
Estamos aí então a 5.700 quilômetros da Estação Espacial Internacional. Lembrando então que a sua acoplagem está prevista aí para acontecer às 1h20 da tarde.
The progress now less than 5.5 kilometers away from the International Space Station, which is in the center of this cross-haired engineering camera view on the exterior of the uncrewed Progress cargo craft. This vehicle will remain attached to the International Space Station until later this fall, when, loaded with trash, it will be undocked from the station and deorbited to burn up harmlessly over the Pacific Ocean. Over the course of the next 30 minutes or so, there'll be a series of so-called impulse burns. Those are small thruster firings that will more precisely fine-tune the Progress's path to the station for the initiation of the fly-around, which is planned at about 10:54, about 16 minutes from now. That fly-around again will result in an alignment of the forward docking probe on the Progress with the Poisk module on the space-facing or zenith side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station. That will be the destination for Progress to dock to.
Estamos agora chegando a 4.400 quilômetros de distância com a Estação Espacial Internacional. 12h40 no horário de Brasília. Estamos aí acompanhando a segunda parte então da missão Progress 84, que foi lançada agora há pouco, às 9h56 da manhã, no horário de Brasília. Daí direto então da base de Baikonur, no Cazaquistão.
8.4 range is 4. Lock up here.
Então, pouco a pouco, aí a nave Soyuz então vai se aproximando com a Estação Espacial Internacional, né? Já podemos observá-la ali ao fundo. Estamos a 3.500 quilômetros, então, da estação.
Will set the stage for the next major operational activity, that being the departure of the Axiom 2 private.
Lembrando que na madrugada então do dia 25, né, nós vamos acompanhar a missão da segunda parte então da missão da Rocket Lab e NASA, né, com Electron, direto da Nova Zelândia, a partir de 00h40.
For the subsequent launch and docking of SpaceX's Cargo Dragon vehicle.
Estamos agora a 3.200 quilômetros da Estação Espacial Internacional.
That will be installed next month during a pair of spacewalks by Steve Bowen and Woody Hoberg to augment the power capability on the 1A and 1B power channels on the starboard truss of the International Space Station.
3.000 quilômetros, estamos agora a menos de 3.000 quilômetros.
Negative 8.2, waiting for the burn.
You are hearing the interpretation of conversations between Station Commander Sergei Prokopiev, who again, along with Dmitry Petelin, inside the Zvezda service module, they would be ready to take over manual.
Nesse momento então do meio-dia e 43 no horário de Brasília, estamos acompanhando então a segunda parte da missão Progress 84 com a chegada da cápsula então de carga da Soyuz à Estação Espacial Internacional. Estamos a menos de 2.600 quilômetros de distância para a Estação Espacial.
So maneuver
2.500 quilômetros.
03, the station is moving to the right, down.
Dois mil e 400 quilômetros. Dois mil e 200 metros.
Waiting for activation. Copy.
2.100 metros.
Observing.
Eles ainda estão ajustando aí a posição da nave.
Copy.
Next step up, coming in the next couple of minutes.
2.000 quilômetros.
Activation of the command link between the International Space Station and the Taurus system. Again, this is the backup rendezvous system.
Estamos a menos de 2.000 quilômetros então da Estação Espacial.
In the event a problem would occur with the Corps' automated rendezvous system. However, Corps is operating normally at this point and is expected to continue operating normally all the way through rendezvous, the terminal phase of today's rendezvous and docking. Less than 2 kilometers now separating Progress from the International Space Station.
Estamos aí ajustando aí novamente a posicionamento da Soyuz. Agora sim estamos novamente então com o posicionamento correto para da Soyuz com a estação. Menos de 1.700 quilômetros agora de distância.
We'll give you a go for Toru activation. Okay, in work. Toru activated. We are on page 21. Copy. Make sure
1.600 quilômetros agora.
all keys operate and released. We have checking power. BPS initial activation. Copy. We have LEDs coming on.
Here in the flight control room at Mission Control in Houston, Flight Director Vincent LaCourte is polling his team of flight controllers here to give a go for docking. That will be relayed shortly to the Russian shift flight director at the Russian Mission Control Center outside of Moscow.
For
1.500 quilômetros.
internal and external LEDs indicators coming on. In work, we have 4 of them.
We're about 7 minutes away from the start of the fly-around by Progress. Again, that will align the approaching cargo vehicle with the Poisk module on the space-facing side of the station.
And to neutral, and to the right, 4 sequentially lit up and neutral right now. Now clockwise, we have 4 in neutral back and
1.300 quilômetros agora de distância.
sequentially 4 back to neutral. So no issues with test row now. Moving to test route on all channels, sequentially in all axes. Go ahead. We have external and internal back to neutral going up. External, internal back to neutral. To the left. We have external, internal.
1.200 quilômetros.
To the right. External, internal, back to neutral. Now reverse. External, internal, and neutral. Acceleration, external, internal, route.
1.100 quilômetros.
No issues. Copy.
So that report to Sergei Prokopiev on board the International Space Station indicates that the test of the backup rendezvous system has been
Estamos
successful.
agora a 1.000 quilômetros.
Happens to be needed. So far, so good. A flawless approach by Progress since its launch almost 3 hours ago.
So no issues.
We're coming up on the next in the series of so-called impulse burns, thruster firings, that fine-tune the Progress's path to the station. We are now under 1 kilometer distance between Progress and the station, closing at a rate of about 2.7 meters per second.
We have external, internal, back to neutral. Now work on ACS mode also completed. We have 1 marker. Okay, you're breaking up. And now I'm repeating this one.
900
We have 2
metros.
markers. ACS mode. Now I'm going 3rd time. We have LEDs on 3 markers
800
and
metros.
image. Nominal. Just make the image comfortable for you. Okay, I turned off ICT mode and markers disappeared. I'm keeping 1 marker active and the images are just.
And the latest impulse burn reported to be good by our visiting vehicle officer, Adam Fowler.
12h50 no horário de Brasília. Estamos a 750 metros de distância com a Estação Espacial Internacional.
fly around and moving to page 22. Moving to page 22, waiting for fly around.
700 metros.
So 22 when the fly around starts. Then you start on page 22.
Estamos aí acompanhando ao vivo, então, a segunda parte aí da missão da Progress 84. $650. 600 metros. Estamos então aí agora a 600 metros de distância.
About 3 minutes away from beginning the fly around of the station. By the Progress, this is all automated. The core's automated
560,
system, which is basically a system that bounces navigational information back and forth to a receiving system that is
540.
the transmission system on the Progress. The Progress is the active system. The station side of the core system is the passive system. That navigational information continues to update in the Progress's computers, so it understands the position and its orientation and its direction of travel and closure rate to wind up docking to the right docking
500 metros.
Less than 500 meters separating Progress from the International Space Station.
480. 460 metros. 440 metros de distância. 420. Estamos a 400 metros. 400 metros agora de distância.
And flight controllers confirming that the fly around of the station is now underway.
And
Again, this maneuver, which is common for approaching vehicles to the Russian segment of the station,
Estamos indo então para o lado russo da Estação Espacial Internacional, né, para a acoplagem do módulo então de carga da Soyuz, que foi lançado agora há pouco, na parte da manhã, às 9h56, no horário de Brasília. 350. Estamos a 350 metros de distância.
The fly-around should take just under 10 minutes to complete. That will be followed by a very brief period of station keeping to allow flight controllers to assess the orientation of Progress toward its docking port.
Lembrando que na madrugada então de hoje, a partir da 00:40, vamos acompanhar a missão na Rocket Lab com a NASA, a missão Tropics, a segunda parte. 320.
Meters separating
300 metros.
Space Station now closing at a rate just under 1 meter per second.
Usually the range is matching 300.
Estamos aí a menos de 300 metros da Estação Espacial. 290. E, portanto, já podemos ver um pontinho ali no visual ali da estação. A nave Soyuz se aproximando, então, da Estação Espacial Internacional. Visão agora da Estação Espacial.
And our first view of the progress itself from cameras on the International Space Station.
E ainda também no dia 26 nós vamos acompanhar mais uma missão da Rússia, um satélite então da Condor.
Prominent in the field of view, the white cylindrical object is the new airlock, new in the sense of its installation, having launched on the STS-132 mission of the space shuttle Atlantis years ago. That airlock was installed during a recent Russian spacewalk by Prokopiev and Petelin.
Meio-dia e 57 no horário de Brasília, estamos aí a menos de 238 metros da Estação Espacial Internacional.
Station keeping just a few minutes away.
Voltamos então com as imagens da Soyuz. (230) Estamos chegando então no ponto considerado aquele ponto 1, né, de aproximação, né, 220 metros.
The spacecraft on the left side of the screen in this view.
Então estamos a 220 metros da Estação Espacial Internacional no Waypoint 1, ou Checkpoint 2, né? Estamos então agora a 220 metros. E aproximando. E agora, pouco a pouco, eles vão reduzindo mais um pouco a velocidade, né? Para que tudo se encaixe, então, perfeitamente.
Providing the navigational information for the Progress's computers as it continues its slow approach, methodical approach for docking to Poisk. Docking is
215
scheduled for approximately 11:20 a.m. Central Time.
Lembrando então que a nave Soyuz decolou com sucesso na base de Baikonur, no Cazaquistão, às 9h56 da manhã, no horário de Brasília. 15h56 da tarde, no horário de Moscou. (210 quilômetros). Estamos chegando já na Estação Espacial Internacional.
We are back in installation. We are turning off the overlay. Turning off AGC mode. Okay, copy.
1h no horário de Brasília.
Activating operation.
Lembrando então que a acoplagem então está previsto para acontecer às 1h20 da tarde. Estamos agora a 200 quilômetros. 200 quilômetros, não, desculpa, 200 metros. 200 metros da Estação Espacial.
Are you able to see the station well? It's a little dark, actually. But with AGC mode on, we couldn't see anything at all. I think it was better with one marker. Okay, let's try it one more time. Back to initial and to operation. And 1.
Estamos ainda a 200 metros da estação.
I think this is better. Okay, we'll leave it
inside 200 meters. Progress about to wrap up its fly around and begin a short period of station keeping.
Range rate is 0. We are monitoring the docking port on RM2. Copy. And range is about 150 meters.
Crossing the border of Croatia and Hungary, progress you can see very clearly its thruster firings as it begins to put the brakes on for a short period of station keeping.
Estamos então acompanhando ao vivo, né, a chegada da cápsula de carga da Soyuz à Estação Espacial Internacional.
Station Moscow on Space to Ground 1.
Nesse momento então a nave Soyuz está realizando manobras aí para fazer ajustes para o encaixe, né, perfeito. Estamos a 197 metros.
And our settings 190921 for the beginning of final approach. Be ready to put in the manual command if needed. Okay, copy.
The roll maneuver reported
190 metros.
to Sergei Prokopiev on board the station refers to the positioning of the solar arrays on the Progress vehicle. So it's at the correct orientation for final approach.
Eles estão agora fazendo a movimentação então para fazer o ajuste, né, para entrar certinho então na hora da acoplagem na estação, né, aqui. Aqui então ocorra tudo certo, aí estão fazendo as manobras aí, né, de ajuste para que tudo ocorra certinho. Lembrando que o Sergei Prokopiev, né, está comandando a cápsula Soyuz, né, direto da estação.
You can go and switch over to Foguete line 2. Okay, we'll switch to Foguete.
Estamos aí então a 184 metros da Estação Espacial, 1h06 no horário de Brasília.
The docking port is a little bit higher than the crosshairs. Completion of fly around confirmed.
Again, this period of station keeping is usually very, very brief, a few seconds or so.
Lembrando então que a acoplagem está programada para acontecer às 13h20 da tarde no horário de Brasília. Estamos a 183 metros de distância da Estação Espacial. Estamos acompanhando então a segunda parte da missão da Progress 84, a chegada então da Soyuz.
Moscow station on space to ground 1. Go ahead. Fly around is complete. And we are standing by for initiation of final approach. Okay, copy, standing by.
Estamos agora aguardando então autorização para a finalização, para iniciarmos aí a aproximação final com a estação. 1h08 no horário de Brasília. Mais uma vez então temos imagens aí da Soyuz.
I've put in the command. Работа operation is in. I'm putting in format 44. Time is 19:07:47.
And the command has been given for final approach by the Progress to the International Space Station.
Okay, now we're working per page 23. Confirmed, page 23, and range rate is increasing.
We're about 12 minutes away from docking. It's not a precise time.
Menos de 12 minutos então para a acoplagem no horário programado, né, para 1h20 da tarde.
I'm putting in AGC mode.
Pouco a pouco aí a nave Soyuz se aproxima. Estamos aí com as imagens da Estação Espacial Internacional da Progress. Agora sim, de volta das imagens da Soyuz. Estamos a 140 metros de distância. 140 metros. 130 metros. Estamos a 130 metros de distância. 120. Estamos a 120 metros de distância. 110. Imagens então da Progress.
Sergey, can you verify operation and turn it off for now? Okay, we don't need AGC mode anymore. We are turning off operation. Copy.
Estamos então pouco a pouco chegando na Estação Espacial. Imagens aí bonitas da Progress.
The station and Progress now flying 260 miles over northwestern Kazakhstan.
Approximately 80 meters. Target is visible.
Estamos a 80 metros. Lembrando que o cosmonauta Sergei Prokopiev está comandando então a nave Soyuz da Estação Espacial Internacional, no modo remoto. – 73 metros. 70.
Range is 70, negative 034.
68 meters separating progress from the docking port. Everything continues to go very, very smoothly.
64 metros. Imagens bonitas aí novamente da Soyuz. Estamos a menos de 60 metros da estação.
We hear you loud and clear. Yes, I also. The target is in the center and the target crosshairs are aligned. Okay, copy. Stand by for the message for readiness to inaudible.
We have passed out of range of our tracking and data relay satellite system for just a couple of minutes here.
52 metros.
Russian ground stations of the approach of the progress to the Poisk module.
50 metros nesse momento.
Progress from Poisk.
The video is gone. Okay, copy.
Estamos aí agora a 48 metros de distância da Estação Espacial Internacional.
Range is approximately 46 meters.
Inside 50 meters, closing at a rate of about 1/10 of a meter per second. That will be the velocity of the progress at the time of contact and capture.
Estamos a 48 metros.
I see the message is ready. Copy. Inaudible.
1h14 no horário de Brasília, faltando 6 minutos então para a acoplagem.
Once docking occurs, the relative motion of the two vehicles against one another will dampen out.
40 metros. Estamos nesse momento a 40 metros de distância com a estação.
Two minutes till eclipse. Little bit to the left. Okay, copy, standing by.
Estamos a 34 metros da estação, 33. Faltando 5 minutos então para a sua acoplagem. Esse ruído é de lá mesmo, tá? Então não se preocupe.
Range is 30.
30 metros.
Negative 009. Copy, you're going to proceed.
Inside 30 meters now.
I'm putting in the увод разрешен command.
Estamos a 26 metros de distância.
Breakout enabled.
The center of this engineering crosshair view should align itself.
Estamos agora se aproximando no último ponto de aproximação final aí com a Estação Espacial Internacional a 20 metros de distância.
several meters of
Lembrando
approach.
que a acoplagem está sendo feita então do lado russo da Estação Espacial Internacional.
Copy.
Quem está pilotando a nave então é o cosmonauta russo Sergei Protopopiev. Estamos a 25.
That was 15 meters. Target is a little lower than center. Copy.
– 22 metros.
Ready, com. Let's continue automatic docking and final approach.
Estamos a 20 metros agora de distância.
Clearly in view, almost at the center of the crosshairs, inside 20 meters. Closing at a rate of about 1/10 of a meter per second.
Target crosshairs are aligned. Alignment of target center and center of video monitor. Copy.
– 15 metros. 14.
About 6 meters, about 5 meters. Half a square
12
lower
metros.
than the crosshairs. The target is half a square lower. Ready, com. Copy.
11.
Progress almost home.
10 metros.
Standing by for contact and capture.
Range is 3.
Nove.
After contact.
Estamos aguardando confirmação do contato.
Ready, com. Okay, standing by for contact. About
7.
half a meter.
Estamos aguardando então o contato.
Contact.
Contato confirmado às 1h e 19 minutos no horário de Brasília. Confirmado o contato com a Estação Espacial Internacional. Estamos então acoplados à estação.
Successful docking of the Progress vehicle.
Contato então confirmado
Thank
com
you. We
sucesso.
also congratulate you. Standing by for a go to deactivate Toru per page 27.
Com 1h e 19 minutos no horário de Brasília, tivemos então contato da nave Soyuz com a Estação Espacial Internacional. Missão Progress
But only after
84.
yes, confirmed. Moscow.
Once again, docking confirmed at 11:19 a.m. Central Time, 12:19 p.m. Eastern Time.
Go ahead on
As
mission
Progress
ground one.
and the International Space Station flew 260 miles over China, docking occurring just 3 hours and 23 minutes after its launch from the Baikonur Cosmodrome.
Então, depois de 3 horas aí de lançamento, né, na base de Baikonur, no Cazaquistão, tivemos então o contato agora há pouco com a Estação Espacial Internacional.
Okay, copy. Standing by for retraction.
Então, mais uma missão concluída com sucesso aí da nave Progress. Missão número 84. Progress 84, então feita com sucesso. Agora há pouco, às 1h19, no horário de Brasília, com a acoplagem na Estação Espacial Internacional. E a decolagem aconteceu às 9h56 da manhã, no horário de Brasília, na base de Baikonur, no Cazaquistão. Lembrando que essa missão da Progress, então, é a missão de carga que foi para o lado russo da Estação Espacial Internacional. E nós aqui acompanhamos tudo com vocês aqui ao vivo.
And the probe now is retracting. This will pull the two docking surfaces flush against one another, initiating the closing of the hooks to form a hard mate between Progress and the International Space Station. Progress delivering to the station 1,080 pounds of propellant, 88 pounds of nitrogen, 926 pounds of water, and 3,399 pounds of dry cargo, for a total of 2.7 tons of cargo being delivered to the complex and the Expedition 69 crew, which currently is augmented by the 4 private astronauts representing Axiom Space. The hooks are driving closed now, following the retraction of the docking probe. And we now have confirmation of the closing of the hooks, so we have a hard mate between the Progress 84 cargo ship and the International Space Station, culminating a flawless 3-hour-plus journey from the launch pad of the Baikonur Cosmodrome. The launch occurred at 7:56 and 7 seconds a.m. Central Time, 5:56 p.m. at the launch site in Baikonur.
Estamos aqui então encerrando mais essa transmissão, né, feita com sucesso aí pela Progress 84. E nos vemos então agora na madrugada então do dia 25, né, a partir da 00:40, com a missão então da Rocket Lab e NASA, a missão Tropics. E para mais detalhes, né, das próximas missões, siga a gente então nas redes sociais aí no Twitter, né, com /WillPTV, para então saber todas as informações das próximas missões que vem por aí. Tá certo? Então, muito obrigado pela audiência e fui! A todos, então, desejo a todos então uma ótima tarde.